So I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded, but I have a special thing for you guys today. I know it's probably been a couple of months since I uploaded, but I do still have the Corvette. It is across the street. It rained and it was outside, so I know what you guys are thinking. Nah. All right, so it's a 2001 MR2 Spyder ZZW30. This is a mid-engine Toyota sports car. Some might even say this is the last sports car that Toyota has produced by themselves. Now, some of you might say, oh, what about the Toyota Supra? Well, that was in conjunction with BMW, so it's more of a Z4 reskinned into Toyota more than anything. But the main part of this video is to go through replacing the soft top. As you can see, it's seen better days. Alright, so as you can see there, I have a hole and then a couple of patches with rubber cement on both sides, on the driver and passenger side. The hole that's pointed out right there is the common location where there's a hole in these MR2 Spyders. So I ordered the top from a seller on Amazon. The link is in the description below. Came probably within a few days, came nicely packed. This one does have a glass back with the heater wire already connected to it. The material was a little bit thinner than the OEM top, but for the price I wasn't really complaining. You can see it in the link below. It's fairly inexpensive when you're talking about convertible tops. All right, so I'm just laying it out of the box, just doing an inventory check, making sure it's the right size, right fit, etc. All right, so the first thing I did is I took off this little trim piece that's right up here. It's held on by 6 Phillips head screws, and that gets the front lip. Next thing, I'm gonna start going off to the side, getting into the molding here. So I was able to pry off the little rubber piece. There's a little piece that you pop out right here, and then you're able to unfold the rubber and then get to these screws. So once you get that silver trim piece off this guy, it's held on by 4 screws. You can see the white tabs there that it holds on to, and then one in the front, which is right there. And then underneath that, you can see there's 3 other small screws that hold the top on. All right, so right here on the inside, it's kind of hard to do with the camera and the flashlight, but there's a couple of spots here that need unvelcroing. Right here, one of them. And then there's another piece that velcros onto the bar. Comes undone. And then I think there's a cable back here that needs to be undone as well. So on the top of the roof here, there's a little cable that hooks to this guy that you can see. Kind of screwed up the top a little bit, but that's okay. But you could either unscrew it from right there, or just take off the little loop, and then you're able to take off the cable portion. Alright, so as I was able to take this piece off, just kind of open it up so you can get the loop out on that guy. And then with you unvelcroing everything on this side, on the interior, and then unbolting this guy, just kind of moving it upwards so you can move the cable out of there, because that's the path that the cable would go to right there. So just move it upwards, and then you can take the cable out. And then this guy right here folds into that little rail, and it goes the whole length of the interior. So I'll just keep on moving along. So the piece that was connected right here where my thumb is actually a spring. So there's a little plastic piece that you can pop off, or you could just wrestle the spring off and it'll pop right off. So do that on both sides. Alright, so there's more Velcro on the back here, holding this big piece on. Looks like it covers this whole backside area. There's a cable, and this strap that's back here, I was thinking it had to get cut because it's riveted on, but maybe not. We'll see. So once you get this big sail piece unvelcroed, you can come up to the top here and fold it downwards, and then access this bolt that's right here, and that'll take this corner of the top off. So just come back down, there's a couple of bolts back here that need to be unbolted. And see how far we can get. Alright, so I was able to get this flap out. I screwed a couple of things down there, unvelcroed a couple of things, and now I'm going to take the rear defroster cable out. It's tucked in. So I ended up taking out the driver's seat just because I needed more room. I'll probably end up doing it on the passenger side too. It's just 4 bolts. Nothing too crazy. It's a 14mm front and back. Alright, so tucking under here, this is the driver's side. You can see a couple of bolts that need to get undone. It's a little uncomfortable, but you can do it. But there's a bolt right there. Right there. Oh, yeah, this one right here. And one back here. And I think that's it for this little plate. Holy crap, I'm getting close, man. Look, I got everything on the sides on both sides. Now I just need to get to the back of the glass. It's kind of hard and shaky with the camera, but I guess I need to take out this back piece here, and there's so it looks like this back shelf you just pull up in the corners. Takes a little bit of effort. I don't know if that's really what you need to do is pull in the corners, but that's what got one piece out so far. So, yeah. So it looks like just one more strip of bolts, and this thing is coming off. So I think this is the moment of truth. I got everything unbolted, front, back, side to side, and see what happens, man. Oh my gosh, and we did it. Holy cow. Alright, so here is the top from Amazon. So it looks pretty good, but on the old top, we need to take out this little rubber piece, and it's riveted on. So I wasn't anticipating that, so I have to drill out all the rivets and either bolt it on there or re-rivet it, which I'm gonna have to figure out how to do. There's a couple of other things that need to happen too. For some reason, on this top, this piece isn't riveted to this side like it is on the OEM top. You can see it right here. It's riveted on there, so I guess that's something I also have to do. And then I still need to transfer over this cable back here. I think this is for the ears in the back. So I need to disconnect this spring system and fish it through what they have over there. Picked up a rivet gun over at Harbor Freight, drilled out the old rivets from the OEM top, and riveted the rubber piece onto the new top, and then riveted these side pieces on as well. Alright, when you're putting this back piece back on, this little metal piece on top, the curved section goes on top, and then when you put in the bolts, you have to put in the vapor barrier before you put the nuts back on. So that's one thing that I didn't do, but luckily it's not too hard to get these nuts off. And then I think it's only 3 spots where this vapor barrier has to come up. So I've already done this one in the corner, so I just have to do the middle and then the other side. And there's the thicker vapor barrier that's here, which I think stays outside like that. So as water comes through this guy, it'll go into this thicker plastic piece and then into the drain. I don't think you can see it there, but the drain's right here. It goes into the side. So make sure you line all that stuff up or else you're gonna get a bunch of water inside the cabin. So do that on both sides. This Velcro strap right here goes down and bolts to that piece right there, and there's a little tang that's right there that hooks onto one of the brackets. Alright, so the next thing I'm gonna do is hook this guy up. It goes right here on this little swinging tab. There we go. And then this guy goes on. So in my top, I had to oblong the big hole in order to fit, because this guy was too, like, it didn't line up right. But now it does, trust me. There is a flap piece on top. You bring it over the two bars in the back, and then you curl it around and put this piece inside of the crack. And then connect this cable on both sides. I think it's just to make sure it doesn't sag. And then there's this belt piece that I need to figure out what that is. And there's a couple of springs and stuff down here. Here you have the cable seal system. If this cable isn't taut or tight, it's not going to seal up against this guy. So make sure down here that it does seal, and follow it all the way around the top. Put the guide through this metal tab that we pushed up, and then stretch the spring onto there. And then you can flap this guy down, and boom, the top is done just like that. Go ahead and latch it closed. It'll be kind of hard to latch since it needs to stretch a little bit. So set the car outside with the top up, let the sun go ahead and warm up the top and stretch it out. And then once that's done, go ahead and drop the top and adjust where it's necessary. You might not be able to close it right off the bat, do minor adjustments here and there. Alright, so that's the complete R&R of a soft top on an MR2 Spyder. If this video has helped you out, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I have a couple more of these videos coming out in the next couple of weeks. If you have any comments or questions about it, go ahead and drop them down below. I do a pretty good job of answering the comments, so hopefully this has helped you out. Thanks a lot, and see you guys on the next video.